morning, my family and friends. I'm gonna do my little Saturday morning walk through my garden. Just kind of the same stuff going on, but I have done a little bit of work, so I will show you what's going on. So nothing's changed a whole lot. I have taken the cucumbers down. Flowers are kind of taking over. So I've emptied this panel. I did this last night. I still have to finish cleaning up, and then I will replant in this bed. So that's what I pulled out. These are on their last leg and probably have to come out. Sweet potatoes are coming along. Cover crops doing nice, so it just gives it enough vegetation. There goes my puppy dog. Still lots of flowers. I'm still really enjoying the flowers. So here is my panel trellis, and I'm enjoying my loofah, mainly because they're just super pretty, but it does have a bunch of loofahs growing on it, so you can see them, and I'll let them get really big and just dry, and we'll peel some of them and use the loofahs in the kitchen as sponges and scrubbies. They work really good. So we're harvesting a fair amount of eggplant. We've got just 3 plants, but they're pretty prolific. Well, this is what happens to squash. It bit the dust. So there's those 3 squash on it, and they're pretty little, especially that one. So I don't know, we may end up harvesting these 2, but we shall see. Here comes one of my chicken girls. So they like to come out in the morning or in the afternoon, and they just hop the fence and come out here, and they like this area just because it's got different bugs and things like that. But I like them over here because they keep the hoppers down, which would get in the garden. So then they're on 3 sides of the garden, and that's kind of nice. So here's spaghetti squash that I planted a couple weeks ago, and it is starting to take off. It looks like something is eating it. I'm not sure what, but I'll work on that. So hopefully we'll get some more spaghetti squash this year. This is 3 pepper plants, and it's kind of an unusual pepper from South America. It's called sinjuisa, and it's hot, but it's kind of a sweet hot, so they will turn red. They're not a very large pepper. They're about 1 inch to 2 inches long and kind of thin. They look a little bit like a miniature serrano. Then I've got some cantaloupe here, and over here is sugar pumpkin. Down here I've got the onions that I planted from seed, and you can see that they are bulbing. So we'll be harvesting those, and we'll have fresh onions again. And there you can see one is flopped over, so they're not going to get super big, but it's nice to have fresh onions straight out of the garden. So we'll just kind of, pick them and use them as we need them. So the chickens are chatty, and that usually happens because one of them's out, and it's kind of, I don't know, Rocky gets very chatty when there's a chicken out. The baby chick is still not sleeping in the big coop, but I don't know. I can't figure out whether it's a hen or a rooster. I mean, we should know in the next few weeks. I keep saying that. I don't know where it is, but the mama is now sleeping in the regular coop, and the baby, it goes up to it, but then it runs and goes back to its little broody house. So we'll kind of see what happens there. Rocky is a very handsome boy. He's very bright red. Oh, there. He moves. So the high tunnel is really where we're getting all our food right now. Got Swiss chard, lots and lots of tomatoes. Here's a couple of zucchini plants, and they will start fruiting here in the next week or so. Peppers, tomatoes, 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 tomatoes. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. Cucumbers, and these are looking good. So we're getting cucumbers on these, which is nice. And I do have some additional cucumbers seeds that I've planted, so that we can get a kind of a late summer crop. And then I've got this lovely girl here, and she is an orb weaver, and she's big. So I've just been letting her be there. So this is a perfect example of propagating a hybrid from just a cutting. So there was just a sucker. I snipped it off and poked it in the ground, and now I have a whole nother tomato plant, and it is pretty loaded. So I just love doing this because you get a little jump on it. Generally when you get a seed pack of tomatoes and they give you a days to maturity, that's from planting the seedling out. And so this way you're basically starting with the seedling. So I love doing this. So these are my San Marzanos, and they are producing a pretty good amount of fruit, starting to ripen, and should start getting pretty good harvest in the next few days. We'll start getting a lot more ripe fruit, but it's a fair amount of fruit, so I'm pretty happy with this. So here's kind of an update on my compost. So this is called the Johnson Sioux method, and basically it's just, compost bin, but the difference of it is it's got that in the center so it gets good airflow, and then I have to water it, and I don't think I'm watering it quite enough, so I need to kind of work on that. I probably should actually put an irrigation pipe in here, and that would just take care of it, and then it would just be on the system. So I might work on that today, because I think that would really make a difference in how fast it composts down. But I like it. It's definitely slumped. It's really slumped a lot. And this time of year, of course, I'm adding to it quite a bit because I'm trimming a lot. Bell peppers are pretty loaded. They're still small, but I fed them, and I think it's making a difference. But I need to pull some fruit off here because there's just too much. And since we're going to freeze a lot of it, it's okay that it's not super big because I'm just chopping it up. So that's about all that's going on here. Not a lot. We're kind of starting to move into the transition from the things planted in the spring to the stuff that will go in and we'll have the late summer harvest on. Hope everyone is having a lovely day, and I will talk to y'all soon. Love ya, bye.